Welcome to Kirov. We're here for the last stop of the 2020 UIAA ice climbing calendar. The city has been a legendary hub of competition ice climbing for over 20 years, and for the first time it's hosting the World Youth Championships. Now there are 3 categories: under 22, under 19 and under 16 in lead and speed, male and female. In total, there are just over 60 athletes from around the world, aged from just 12 to 21. There are some familiar names, including the current world champion, but we're going to see many unknown faces too, perhaps some potential future stars of the sport. So my name is Tarquin Cooper and I will be commentating throughout the action. And I'm joined by co-commentator Ekaterina Feoktistova, 2015 Speed World Champion. Hello, Katya.
Hi. Hi.
So let's have a look at the starting list. We're going to kick off with the under 16s. So on to the male starting list. First up is Kirill Guts, Artem Charikov, Mikhail Sisyoletin, Roman Shubin, Vladislav Kopilov, and then Viktor Machushinki and Zakhar Novozelev. And then over onto the women's side. The starting list there kicks off with Alexandra Senikova, Olga Vuleg-Zanina, Anna Kolegova, Marina Tokareва, Polina Bratukina, and Anna Altsibieva. So it's an all-Russian lineup for both the men and the women. And if you're wondering why there are 7 athletes in the male group, there are actually only 6 in the lead. Kirill Guts is competing in the combined, so he'll take part in the lead, but he's not actually in the lead final. And it looks like we've already started with the women. So up here is Alexandra Senikova.
One of the young Russian athletes, not from Kirov. She's from another town, and I think she used to compete last weekend in Russian national youth championship.
She's just 12 years old.
Yeah, that's amazing. Look at her.
Is it what age were you when you started?
Well, I was even a little bit older when I started, when I was around 13 years old, and well, it's been like literally half of my life ago.
Is it a disadvantage not having that upper body strength? I mean, is it a bit of a challenge? What are the challenges for climbing when you're young?
Well, obviously that you need a bit more of strength and a bit more of endurance, because I think rock climbing really helps them out, and I think now the young athletes are getting better and better each year. Then they're like growing, and the routes are also getting way harder.
So Alexandra Senikova, 12 years old.
12 years old.
Just matches with the left tool there. Amazing to be climbing at such a young age.
Yeah.
And there you can see she just hasn't quite got the reach. Has she got it?
Yes.
The routes are set and designed so that they don't disadvantage those who haven't got the longest of reach.
Yeah.
Oh look, and we're over to the boys now. Started. So this is
Kirill Guts. Kirill Guts.
So as I mentioned earlier, Kirill Guts is not actually in the lead final. He's climbing for his place in the combined lead. Each federation can only enter 6 athletes. And it looks like Alexandra is off. Well, we get a chance to see what happened to her.
Так, друзья мои, закончила выступление Синникова Александра. По традиции мы приветствуем, благодарим спортсмена за выступление.
Just looking at the judges there, all updating. The results are all updated live on the UIAA website. That's uiaa.results.info. So excuse me, this is not Kirov Guts, this is Artem Charikov, is the first of the boys on the route. 15 years old. Do you know anything about Artem?
Well, this is the young athlete from, not from Kirov, I'm not sure where he's from exactly, but I definitely saw him last weekend climbing at the youth national Russian competitions. And so now he's on the move where his strength is all on the left foot, and now he's supposed to be very careful in those holes because there might be tricky moves just up further.
Can you give using a little bit of climbing technique there, the competition climbing using the hand? Is that an advantage to do that?
Sometimes it's all good. Sometimes you can really be in trouble with using a hand, but I think now that was okay. So now he has to be very careful on this tricky hole because this is like a bit on the angle. You see how he's holding this left isexus, so he's supposed to be very careful and not to move.
So we're just looking at Olga Vuleg-Zanina, just about to start her bid for the finals of the under-16. Very swift footwork there.
Yes, so this is Olga. She's one of very famous young athletes from Kirov, and I've known her ever since she was 6 years old when she started climbing, and now she's around 15 years old. She's one of my young, very good friends, and we used to climb for many years, like in one team. So now she's about to graduate high school very soon, and she's like,
yeah, Olga, she was second last year, so perhaps we can expect some good things from her today.
she's been training a lot this season because I saw her quite often at the wall training with Maria Tolokonina. Maria is her coach, so we will see what Olga can do.
Yeah, if you've got Maria Tolokonina as your coach, that's probably giving you quite an advantage.
Oh yes,
to have such an amazing
yes, of
athlete.
course, yes. Olga is strong.
I saw Maria earlier sharpening tools with for the team.
For the team, yes, she's here for the whole youth team. She's got so many young athletes under her.
So if you've just tuned in, we are watching the World Youth Championships here in Kirov, Russia, and we're kicking off with the under-16s. And on the left of the wall, we've got Olga Vuleg-Zanina, and on the right, we've got Artem Charikov.
Both Russian athletes.
It's an all-Russian lineup, really.
All Russian athletes.
In the under-16. Olga did well to hang on there. Feet just skidded off. And she gets onto this first ice barrel.
Ice barrel can be tricky because it's moving and you have to be very careful with your footwork because as soon as you're a bit far from the wall, your feet are slipping and you have to kick them good to be able to reach higher. See?
This did well to hang on there.
Yes. Go on.
She did very well.
She needs to kick her foot very good.
So she's just got a tool stuck a little bit in the ice. So these ice barrels all have pre-drilled holes. There's no need to swing your own placements. Foot skidded again.
One more quick draw.
Can she get that first quick draw? She does.
She does.
How bad are the nerves at the start? Because they're the first to climb. The nerves must get to you.
Yes, it's quite nervous to be one of the first climbers because you don't know what to expect, and this is the final of Youth World Championship, so she probably a bit worried.
So slips into that figure of 4. Is a figure of 4 quite easy to learn when you're a young climber?
I think it doesn't matter how young you are, it's just the question of trainings. So it depends on how much you train this move, because it's also quite tricky. You have to be able to...
She's just hanging on by one arm there. And she's off.
She's off.
Так, друзья мои, аплодисменты для вылетчанины Ольги. Осторожно.
14 years old
Инструмент.
Russian athlete from Kirov.
Инструмент.
So she got to quick draw number 1. Artem Charikov, meanwhile, is battling on onto that first ice barrel. Struggling to get his left foot a good placement there. Here's Olga. Putting your foot on a volume is probably not the most ideal placement, is it?
No, it's not. You better kick your leg in the wooden part and go on.
So Artem is 15 years old. And it looks like he's a little bit stuck. He can't quite commit onto that ice barrel. You've got a nice view there of the structure here. What's it like to climb on here compared to other venues?
Well, first of all, it's huge structure. On the screen, it might look not that big as how it is in real life. So first part is where Artyom is. It's just a slide overhanging, and then it gets more and more steep, and then eventually get on the roof, which is like you're basically in horizontal position.
He's struggling now, Artem. It's all over.
It's all over.
Аплодисменты для Чарыкова Артема.
So we'll now have to wait for the magic tool retrievers to get his tools back before the next boy can start, and that will be Mikhail Sisyoletin, who is actually the youngest of the boys. He's just 12 years old.
12 years old. He's also from Kirov, one of the youngest boys who I've known since he was around 7 years old.
Really?
And yeah, so now so the next girl we are having is Koligova Arina. It's also a climber who Maria Telakonina trains. She's a very strong young athlete. She's about 13 years old, if I'm not...
12.
12, still
Yes.
12 years old.
Born
She
in 2007.
2007.
So she's just tying on with the figure of 8 knot here.
It's a very impressive what she can do, because I've seen her many times climbing in a rock climbing gym, in ice climbing wall. So she's very strong and very fast.
Мужская трасса, вы готовы?
Her technique is very good for 12 years old.
She looks very confident.
She is definitely. Her footwork and her technique is just unbelievable.
Напомню, что сейчас идут финальные соревнования в дисциплине
Let's see what she can do here.
У возрастной группы
That's her
до
first
16 лет.
international competition ever in ice climbing, so she's been so excited before.
Победа Лазаньева.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And it's in her hometown, so hopefully it helps her to be more confident and calm, because her family is just around here. Her dad supports her a lot, so he usually comes to every training with her. So let's see.
It's fantastic to have so many young athletes taking part. So we've got two 12-year-olds now about to climb the wall. So, Anna Kolegova making pretty fast work. So we're over now to, this is Mikhail Sisyoletin, 12 years old.
Another 12 years old.
Impressive performance from these youngsters. You know, they haven't got anything like the grip strength or the upper body strength of older athletes.
Now this move where she has to make a go and to be on the ice barrel, which is hanging, and it can be very tricky to make a move up, but she has no any troubles with doing this. So look at this.
Reaches for that undercling with the left.
She's making first figure 4 on the quick draw number 2.
So the under-16s have 10 minutes for their routes. Oh, she's struggling there. What's happened?
She
She's gonna recover.
she just lost her feet, so she needs to hit them.
She needs to kick them in. Kick. A lucky escape there for Anna Kolegova. Did well to recover. Mikhail Sisyoletin, meanwhile, making steady progress up the easier section of the route. So you've known him since he was 7 years old?
Since he was 7 years old.
And was he climbing then?
He was climbing. We went on a trip together to rock climbing camp, which was 5 years ago. So
Wow.
he was so young. And now he's on the part of the wall where he needs to be very careful with his right eye sexto, which is intellect hold.
Oh!
That's what I meant.
And he's just
You have
popped.
to be very steady.
Yes.
Yes.
Друзья, аплодисменты для Сысолятина Михаила.
So that's the end of his performance here at the under-16 finals. Do you think he'll be happy with that?
Well, I think it's one of his first ever international competitions, and that might be a good experience for him to try out, and it also really helps young athletes to be able to participate in their hometown under coach's eye.
The youth championships really, it's about sort of fostering and encouraging, firing the stoke, if you like.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is actually put athletes off. So it's all about trying to inspire the next generation, isn't it?
It is, definitely. So look at Arina.
Can't quite reach it. She just needs to move the her tool, get a different grip on it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the holds? What are these? You've presumably climbed on holds similar to these. We've got a mix of intellects and kruganogis. Your precision has got to be probably absolutely spot on, doesn't it?
Yes, so these holds are quite good on the female's route, as I see so far. Now she needs just to push her body a bit further to be able to reach the next hold, which is quite good. You just need to be very careful on that, and don't shake your body.
The shakes are not good.
Shakes are not good,
And not the
especially
climber's
on
friend.
those
When
intellect
it's-
holds.
Yes, especially when it's steeply overhanging. I think that was one of the American climbers we were just looking at there, Lindsay Levine.
Yeah. She's still struggling on the quick draw number 4, and she just needs to make a go. This is Maria, it's
Tolokonina,
her coach, and
looking nervously on.
looking nervously on.
She gets quick draw number 5. So that puts her
A bit more confidence.
a little bit more confidence, but she needs to find a way. Has she got it?
Yes.
Is it good? She commits to it. Lots of
good.
shouts from below. So what's the Russian for, go on. What are the words of encouragement you shout in Russian?
Давай.
Давай.
So now it's another long move, and we see on her face that she's probably cold, tired, probably not.
She can't be cold. She must be so warmed up, must be burning up with...
Yes.
It's actually not too cold here in Kirov. I mean, some years it's like -10, -15, isn't it?
That was even colder at some point because the river is here and the wind comes from river, which is really makes cold, but now it's quite good. It's +3 degrees Celsius here and probably it's okay. She made it to another ice barrel.
Fighting now from this young 12-year-old, who's the youngest female taking part today. Meanwhile, it looks like Roman Shubin has begun his ascent. 12 years old.
Another 12 years old.
Another 12-year-old. He's got a younger brother of Pavel who's taking part
in youth category under...
In the under-19s, I think.
Yes.
So Anina just has under 2 minutes, but she is now off. What a performance there from the young Arina Koligova. Are we going to see a smile from the young athletes?
She's very happy. She must be very happy to be in the finals at her
Roman
first.
Shubin is off.
Oh.
So we didn't see what happened there, but that is his climb over.
There was that tricky hold, yellow intellect.
Just looking there. Just lost her grip on that axe.
10 минут дается каждому участнику, независимо от возраста.
It's just about taking part, really, though, at this stage, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
You can't invest too much emotional energy into winning or losing. Is that what the sort of thing the coaches say? Or is it important? Or you're looking at me to say, no, winning is just as important.
Well, obviously, I think that it's very important to have experience, and each competition helps you to get stronger physically, emotionally, and mentally. So this is important for young kids to start competing at a young age, so that makes their emotions stronger from young age.
So we're looking at Vladislav Kopylov, 14 years old, just tying in with the old figure of 8. The athletes have 40 seconds to begin climbing once they're roped in. So yeah, it's not just about being good on paper and being able to, crank incredibly difficult routes. It's about being able to do it on the day when mum and dad might be watching,
yes,
when the cameras are rolling,
sure.
When maybe you're not warmed up as you'd like, and the only way to train for that is practice, isn't it?
Yes, the practice is the only way to get there, and it's very important.
So we should do a little shout out to all the judges and all the volunteers helping out to make this event possible. Judges and the B-layers all do a fantastic job. B-layers, very, very important role.
And now we're having
checking the safety.
Another Russian 14-year-old, Vladislav Kopylov.
So he has 10 minutes.
Here we go.
мужской трассе дан старт участник Копылов Владислав, Российская Федерация.
Just stepping up nicely through these opening moves. Ooh. And next up we have Marina Tokariva. Marina is 14. She was third last year, so she has a little bit of experience under her belt. And she is just making nice and steady work on those opening moves. So will the youth still have the same length of ice axe as adults? It's still the same height?
It's the same height, definitely the same height, and most of them using the ice axes from Ice Rock and from Kukanagi. So Marina now she's using Ice Rock, and as I see from here that the Vladislav and he's on Kukanagi ice axes.
Nice view of the structure there. Looks like, I think that's one of the intellect holds. And the intellect hold is a type of, is it an intellect hold?
No,
it was
it's
not that one. They are red, the intellects.
The Vladislav has the yellow intellect
He's got
hold. He has to be very careful in that move, so because it's like a shoulder move, so you have to move your body very carefully and not to
shake.
Not to shake.
Just keep the body tension
Yes,
really,
keep the body
really
tension.
secure.
He wants to go
Just matching
without
with the
using this yellow intellect hold, which is tricky.
the precision you have to get is a little divot inside the hold, and you've got to just get your tool, the pick, in exactly the right place.
And it's so tiny.
But he's looking pretty strong with that pretty solid Stein there on the left, the undercling.
Yeah.
Inches the feet upwards. So the Stein allows you to sort of reach quite high, doesn't it? You can walk up through
Yeah,
the move,
sure,
can't you?
definitely.
Oh no! It's all
What was
over
it?
from Tokariva.
One of the most important moments that you have to be aware of, that when you move your body from the ice barrel to overhanging part, you have to be aware of your foot. So you need to remember them to kick good to the wall. Otherwise, if you lose them, you just fall. And that's what happened to Marina.
Vladislav Kopylov, meanwhile, attacks the ice barrel. Can he get that next quick draw? All he has to do is get to that second quick draw and he will be in the lead.
Oh,
and he's
yeah,
off.
he's off.
He's off the ice barrel.
Так, друзья, не услышала я
Didn't
аплодисментов
quite
для
manage to
Токаревой
get
Марины.
onto that first.
И точно
onto
так
that
же
steeply overhanging
продолжаем
section.
аплодировать для Копылова Владислава. Давайте,
Vladislav
традиции есть
Kopylov.
традиция, нарушать
From
мы её
Tomsk.
не будем,
This
будем
is the small
аплодировать
town in
любому
Siberia.
спортсмену.
Oh wow.
They made a long way to get to Kirov, so that was around 2.5 days by train to get to here.
2.5 days. Well, I hope it was worth it.
На женскую трассу
Marina
приглашается
Tokareva coming off.
Братухина Полина.
Will we get a closer look to see what happened to Vladislav? He wasn't able, looked like he was trying to get into the Fig 9 and he just wasn't quite able to do it.
Российская Федерация.
So next up on the girls is Paulina Bratukina. What do you know about Paulina?
Polina, she has been training the whole season with Maria Tolokonina, and she's another young Russian athlete, 14 years old, very strong. And she's been training this adults team for the whole winter, so she's very impressive. So let's see what she can do.
So let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see if she lives up to the hype from Katia.
Yeah.
Here she is. So she was fourth last year.
Okay.
Матюшинский Виктор. Оба спортсмена представляют Российскую Федерацию.
Just tying in.
That's her friend Olga Velikjanina in the background, the one who used to climb before in finals.
And this looks like Viktor Matushinsky. How do I say? Go on, you give me a proper pronunciation.
Matushinsky.
Matushinsky. Right, so
Polina
Paulina
is
is
on.
off.
На обеих трассах дан старт участникам.
10 minutes.
На мужской трассе.
It's quite a long time to have, isn't it?
Is it? It is quite long time.
I mean,
definitely.
quite for the youngsters. I mean, it means there's not the pressure of the clock for them.
They've got time.
They've got time.
Plenty of time to.
Независимо от возрастной группы.
So far, Paulina looking very confident. Just lay backing off that left tool, confidently searching for the right spot. There's always a little sweet spot in a hold,
Yes,
isn't there? You've got
definitely. You have to be very precise, and you can find this spot. You can feel this.
When you start, do you already know where that little sweet spot is? Do you already have an idea of where you've got to place your tool?
Yes. If it's not the new holds that we've never seen before, we know where to hold.
Just through
Spot.
the observation period.
Through the observation period, definitely.
Because, if you're new to the sport, these athletes are doing this pretty much, well, almost blind. You get this observation period of, 5 minutes or so. I think it's about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes.
And that's your only chance to really look at the route, work out the problems, where you've got to place your tools, work out the sequencing of moves, where you need to get your feet and everything. And then you go off into isolation.
Definitely. You get ready with all of your equipment. Also, during observation period, you better check where from you would clip your quick draw, because it's very important.
I guess that's a skill in its own right, memorizing the route. And you know, it's not just a physical sport. It is a mental. There is almost a puzzle element.
Yes, that's why athletes trying to make some notes in their notebook during the observation period, how the route would look like. So it helps them to memorize, and during the isolation period, they can have a look, and it helps them to calm a little bit at some point. And Paulina looking so good.
She is.
So
She's good.
far.
Just getting quick draw number 2, which already is putting her in a very, very strong position. If she can get the next quick draw, she'll automatically move into third place, or third position,
Third position.
shall we say. Meanwhile, Viktor Matushinsky
Is on the ice barrel.
is
Off he goes.
commits to it. He looks like he's struggling a little bit there. He's not quite making the figure of 4. Is he going to manage to hold on? Can he do it? This is where upper body strength really comes in. Can he?
Yes.
What can he do? Is he going to do it?
Paulina is looking so great so far. it looks like easy route for her.
But Victor
Isn't it?
is hanging in there. He's not giving up without a fight. He's really struggling. He's trying to get that figure four and he just can't quite. Has he done it?
Yes. Here he is.
What a fighter. Fighting performance
Very good.
from the young Russian. But he'll be so pumped now. There'll be almost no gas left in the tank.
Here it
No.
is. No, he's.
It's all over for Victor Matushinsky. Paulina's cruising though.
Yes.
Paulina is looking good.
Так, друзья мои, аплодисменты для Матюшинского Виктора. Осторожно, на трассе инструменты. Так, -1, -2. Замечательно. И тут же переключаем внимание на женскую трассу, где продолжает выступление Братухина Полина.
Without any struggle.
So if she gets that next quick draw, she will move into the lead. It's the quick draw that gives you the points.
Друзья, напоминаю всем, кто у нас здесь в качестве зрителей и
So it's important
болельщиков.
not to forget
Болеть
about
можно и нужно.
Is it easy to become stressed about trying to get the quick draw because it's the points? Do you
No.
learn to sort of wait until you're in the right body position before you?
Definitely it's important to climb, and then you just, as soon as you get to the quick draw, you clip it.
So we just saw the clock there, just under 5 minutes left for Paulina. And she makes quick draw number 6, and that will bring her into the lead with still 2, with just one other athlete to go after her, Anna Altsabeva.
На мужскую трассу в
But
старт
she's looking strong with time left on the clock. Gets that very strong Stein move. Stein is really secure, isn't it? But it's quite strenuous.
Yeah, definitely. So now she's on the quick draw number 6, and she just clipped number 7.
Quick draw number 7.
На мужскую трассу приглашен к старту участник из Российской Федерации Новоселов Захар.
Just searching with the left. Gets the figure of 4 for a little bit more of a secure body position. It also helps to weight the axe in more of the right direction.
On the
So this will be Zakhar Novosolov.
Novosolov.
Oh, she's off. Paulina is off.
We didn't see what quite happened.
But she will be happy with that because that is her in lead position. Whether it's enough to see off the challenge from Anna Altsabeva remains to be seen. Anna will be up next.
Вот такие у нас растут девчонки и мальчишки. Борцы заделали до лазания.
So this is Paulina, and she looks in a very secure position there.
На мужской трассе продолжает готовиться к выступлению Новоселов Захар.
Just left tour, wasn't able to get quite the purchase she wanted. She went for the second attempt. Body tension wasn't there, and then her right arm gave way. It just goes to show you just have a little bit of body movement in the wrong direction, and these picks just pop off so easily. So, looking very, very determined. We have a young 14-year-old Zakhar Novosolov. Working his way through the opening moves
На женскую трассу
on
старту
this under 16 boys route.
Анна.
Oh, you don't really want to be doing that, do you, at this early on? Just losing a footing. pulls up, gets that.
And here he,
So next up will be
the last competitor of women's
Anna,
final.
Anna Altsibieva.
Я бы попросила некоторых не становиться так вот резко на женскую трассу.
This is the yellow intellect where you have to move with precision, but now he has no any troubles with this, no any struggles.
Oh, you spoke too soon.
Oh,
Spoke too soon, but he did well to recover.
yeah.
Российская Федерация.
Nice solid step up there from the young Novoselov. So the next is reaching up onto that ice barrel, and this is where all the boys pretty much have been coming unstuck. But he seems to make easy work of that figure 4. Moves then onto the fig 9. Gets that second quick draw. Still with time on the clock. It seems as though some of these young climbers just haven't got quite the efficiency as the older climbers. When they're going from the fig 9s to the figure 4s, it seems like perhaps they're not as accomplished as some of the older competitors.
Definitely, yes. There.
So can you talk us through what a difference it being in a figure 4 position?
Well, when you're in the figure 4 position, it makes your body little longer, so you can reach higher. And in some tricky moves, it's better to do a figure 4 with what first of all secures you on the hold, and it makes you to make the move easier. So now he's on the overhanging part of the wall, which is quite tricky because of the shape of the wall, right? So, and it helps him not to kick to the wall, but to do figure 4, and it's easier to make a move. And now he's
If he gets this one move just steady, gets that quick draw, if he stays calm, and he moves into the lead if he gets that. And that Altsibieva,
Altsibieva.
meanwhile,
on the first hold of
steeply overhanging part. She's looking very strong too. Do you think Paulina will be getting a little bit nervous at this point?
Probably a little bit. That's
Novoselov nearly just lost his footing, did well to hang on with one arm.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, what's going on there?
Oh, this is the little secret from climbers, so you can turn your ice axe. And this is one hold from Prukanagi, so which you can use that way.
Cheeky.
Cheeky. This is
Searching
Anna.
for that sweet spot on the hold. Oh, but obviously it
It's
didn't
off.
work out for Zakhar.
Друзья мои, давайте еще раз поаплодируем. На
It can't be very comfortable to hold the tool that way, upside down with your hand on the teeth.
Переключаем внимание на женскую трассу.
So hopefully that should be enough for Zakhar Novoselov to go into the lead. And just seeing the results are being updated live. So if you go over to uiaa.results.info, you can see the leaderboard as it stands.
У группы спортсменов
Of course, these are just provisional results.
мальчиков
And this is
финальную
Anna.
трассу прошли
So
все
she's got quick draw number 4,
финала.
but she needs to get to quick draw number 8 if she
To be
wants
able
to
to
get
beat.
into the lead,
Yes.
to beat her teammate Paulina Bratikina. You think she can do it? What do you think
I
at
think
home?
yeah. Well, that's another athlete from youth team who Maria Tolakonina coaches, and Anna is about 13 or 14 years old by now. So, and I've seen her when she was 7 or 6 years old. So now she's been climbing strong for rock climbing and for youth ice climbing team.
Looks like she's struggling here, though.
Little struggle, but she can do it.
Fighting spirit is on display.
She's on the quick draw number 5 and about to reach quick draw number 6 very soon.
Let's see if she can do it.
She has a little struggle on this ice barrel.
Yeah, it seems a lot of the climbers are getting a little bit stuck on these ice barrels.
Yes. It's quite tricky, I would say, because it takes a lot of strength to be able to move on that in figure fours. So you better do it quick.
Yeah, you can't. It's very, very costly. No.
Oh, and she's off.
She's off.
Друзья
They
мои,
they haven't got the tank, the bank of energy and strength that some of the older athletes have got. Looks like she's a little bit stiff there. Maybe she hurt her leg.
And just a second before, we saw on the screen Maria and the team of coaches.
So that was
Anna.
Zaka Novozelev just coming off there.
Участники до 16 лет завершили
And then
прохождение финальной трассы в дисциплине трудность.
she just wasn't able to get that leg all the way over the arm, which meant all the weight was on her arms. And at that age, you just haven't got the upper body strength. Still, she should go into third position with that. Let's see, we'll wait for the leaderboards to all be updated. She's getting a hug there from
Olga Velikjanina, her teammate, who climbed in lead finals just right before.
So what's your takeaway then watching the youth? Are these the stars of tomorrow?
Well, definitely they are. And for many of them, it's just the first or second season competing at Youth World Championship, which is international competitions. And I'm sure they're more than happy with their performances.
Yeah, what a performance from these youngsters. Amazing to see so many athletes.
And they've been fighting hard.
Yeah, but young athletes from the ages of 12. So, now we've got one more climber yet to come, and this is Kirill Guts. Now, Kirill Guts, this isn't for the lead final, this is combined. But combined doesn't have its own lead discipline, so hence he's doing his combined lead climb as part of this. So this doesn't count, this isn't the lead final, this is combined. But we can watch him.
Yes. He's doing very good, and he's almost flying up the wall.
Напомню также, что любой правильный ответ, это нужно будет выловить меня на площадке, подойти, назвать свое имя и фамилию и сказать правильный ответ. Давайте так,
Excuse me, so that's not Nikki Guts at all. This is observation. This is the demonstration we're watching here. So we'll go straight to the leaderboard onto the men's, and in third place was Viktor Matushinsky. In third, second place Vladislav Kopilov, and in first place we'll go to Zaka Novozelev. So apologies once again for that mix up, and over onto the women's. In third place Anna Alcibieva, Arina Kolegova, and in first place Polina Bratukina. So next up,
Congratulations.
stay tuned because we will be going live again in 1 hour at 11:15 local time, where we will have the under 19 and under 22 female and male lead climb. So thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again shortly.
Thank you so much for watching and joining us. В пасхальных традициях какой европейской страны
женщину могут